Hey, my name is Jobby, and this is your final warning to enter the Metal Build Ava Unit 1 giveaway. The deadline to enter is next Friday, and I'll be announcing the winner next Saturday. And if you don't know how to sign into this damn giveaway by this point, just stay tuned, I guess. Anyway, let me introduce you to an abomination against God, and no, I am not talking about myself. The amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Optimus Prime is a Transformers figure that doesn't transform. This figure is part of the same line as that Spider-Man figure and Batman figure I reviewed a while back, and I got my copy at the Big Bad Toy Store, link in the description. But, of course, we have to determine if this non-transforming Transformers figure is worth that amount of money. That is kind of a high asking price. And, as much as the concept disgusts me, I have to admit that the painting and sculpting on this figure is pretty good. I mean, if you guys know who Optimus Prime is, you know exactly what you're gonna get here. It's Optimus Prime. All the details are in the right place. The window titties, them leg vents, and I do like the mechanical detail that you see through those titty windshields. I also like how some parts of this figure are not completely blocky. They have a slight curve to them, making the figure look a lot more dynamic. Of course, Kaiyodo, the company behind Revoltech, can get away with this kind of sculpting because this figure does not transform. They don't have to worry about kibble or moving parts or anything like that. And because it don't transform, they don't gotta worry about the back. Back lives do matter today, but it don't really count. Don't you see? The backpack on MP44 was animation accurate! No, you rat bastard boot licking Takara apologist! If the MP44 backpack was as animation accurate as y'all say, it would be this flat. Yes, he does have a backpack, as you can see, but it is not as thick as it was on MP44. Now get the hell out of my face before I kill you! Can we get a like on this video for Black Lives Matter? And can you leave a comment on how annoying this meme is? That's my role in this whole internet ecosystem. I produce bad and annoying memes. Oh, no wonder the toy review community hates me. I should also mention the relative lack of paint on this figure. This guy looks and feels like a mainline Transformers toy. Not a big problem for me, that just means that it cuts paint chipping. But maybe for most high-end collectors, the lack of paint here will bother you. All this red, unpainted. The blue, unpainted. The only painted parts here would be the silver and the face, which also looks excellent. It's the classic Optimus Prime face. Not that much of a fan of how the antennae are sweeping that back, though. Looks less like Optimus Prime and more like a damn rabbit. Not that I mind. And build quality might not be becoming of an $80 figure. Out of the box, this smokestack completely popped off. I just had to super glue it. And let's not get into that just yet. Obviously, the looks of the figure aren't everything. You can make or break a figure in my eyes if it don't feel that good. But fortunately here, the figure does feel solid. All the joints are nice and tight, and strangely enough, for Revoltech, none of the joints here, zero, are Revoltech joints. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Revoltech joint is basically one of these. It's a ratchet joint. You could barely hear that, but you can kind of see it, attached to two swivels. And while I do like the solidity that Revoltech joints give figures, it's not good for everything. Case in point, Revoltech Judy Hopps had a Revoltech joint at the head when a ball joint would have sufficed. Maybe someone at Kaiyodo heard my criticism and overcompensated by giving this guy zero Revoltech joints. All you get is a crap ton of ball joints, which includes a ball joint at the base of the neck. You do get a ball joint at the head proper, and working both of those in tandem allows him to look really far up and really far down. Every ball joint can be a swivel. The arm can move out. Ball joint at the shoulder allows it to rotate. And I don't really get this, but this shoulder cover here is, in fact, on a ball joint. Pretty annoying because it tends to pop off easily. There we go. Can move back and forward. Bicep swivel. Bend at the elbow. Ball joint at the wrist. Swivel here. A beautiful ab crunch. And an arcing back. Waist swivel. And if I remove this ball jointed side skirt, you can see that the waist swivel is connected at an angle. So whenever you twist the waist, it looks a lot more dynamic than you usually would expect. And since we're talking about the skirts, this one broke. You really do want to be careful when you're posing these side skirts because this could happen happened to you, that ball joint is just permanently stuck in there. And trust me, a dab of super glue ain't gonna save my ass this time. So let me just remove that. While I'm not gonna blame the figure for what is obviously my own incompetence, I think it's fair to say that these ball pegs could have been a little more stable. But just a little safe word of advice, you wanna bend the front skirt up before going to activate his excellent kick. And the leg can move back that far. Move the skirts out of the fog. The skirts tend to pop off all the time. That gets annoying. Just hope that it's not fatally annoying. Get the skirts out of the way, and you get a beautiful spread. This hinge joint is tighter than the other one. That is swivel here. Bend at the knee, a very tight ball joint at the ankle, and an excellent pivot. And you even get a toe bend. Posability on this figure is obviously excellent. It better had be, because that's what these amazing Yamaguchi figures are all about. You could get so many poses, an unlimited amount if you put your creative mind to it, which I really didn't, because I gotta be honest, I got discouraged after that front skirt broke on me. But if you get this figure, you can have a ton of fun with it. And theoretically, you can have more fun with it if you introduce this included Revoltech stand. Hinge joint, hinge joint, hinge joint, and a pair of claws that couldn't even grab my nuts. Does not plug into him. All you get is this weak-ass claw, and the stand is kind of useless. If you found some way to tighten that claw to improve its grip, then you could probably get Prime into some aerial poses, but as of now, you could find some uses for it. Get this shit out of here. He can stand perfectly fine on his own. Of course, the stand isn't the only accessory this figure comes with. In addition to these pair of fists, you get a pair of spread hands, one clawed hand, one pointing hand, and you get a pair of hands that are stuck together in what I could only call the Megatron pounding hands. Easier to attach than it sounds. All you gotta do is pop the hands off of those ball joints. They come off very easily. Plug that deformity, and using the figure's excellent posability, you can get that connected to the other hand. There you go. It would probably look better next to an amazing Yamaguchi Megatron, but for now, this is all I got. And you get a pair of trigger finger hands, but you only need one for this included ion cannon. No sort of weapon storage, fuck off. And finally, you get that classic Energon axe. That simply plugs into the wrist ball joint like any other hand. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Alright, I'm starting to accept the existence of non-transforming Transformers figures, but goddamn, why did they have to make Optimus Prime the smallest amazing Yamaguchi figure? Here's amazing Yamaguchi Spider-Man, Batman, my previous review, the Figma Asuka, and of course the Metal Build Evangelion Unit 1, which I am giving away. So I'm a little surprised at how much I like this figure. Just a tiny bit rock Himalayan salty about the lack of a transformation. Or am I? And here we have... Metal Build Evangelion giveaway. First of all, you want to be a subscriber to JobbytheHong. That's just kind of a given. Second of all, you want to sign up for a free account at Gemmer.com. And what it is basically a social network for collectors like you and me. I've worked with Gemmer a long time ago in the past, and I still post there pretty consistently. It's available on iOS and Android, and it's completely free. Now, here's a little pro tip to increase your chances. Each entrant in this giveaway is allowed up to 3 entries. One entry is when you sign up for a Gemmer account. Your second entry is when you post an item on your Gemmer page. The process for posting an item is simple enough. And your third entry is when you post another item to your page. But remember, the deadline is next Friday, and I'll be announcing the winner next Saturday on a Failbox live stream, so I better see you all there. Keep in mind though, I am giving away the figure that I reviewed, so if you want a good idea on that figure's condition, go ahead and watch that review. Don't worry, I cleaned it thoroughly. And of course, buy this figure if you don't mind the concept of a non-transforming Transformer. It is not the worst that I've seen, but don't expect any more than that. I'm not taking a look at those model kits. I am not taking a look at the Flame Toy shits. Unless one of those companies want to give it to me for free, then, you know, we can work something out. But I have no room in my heart anymore for non-transforming Transformer figures. Especially when figures like this exist. Ooh. And I must address a very important issue that everyone is talking about that could affect how we live forever. Epstein didn't kill himself. Hopefully I get to review that figure after I do the fail box next week. Right now, it is currently missing an arm. TF source, I know you follow me on Twitter, and if you're watching this review right now as we speak, that replacement arm had better be in my studio by the time I review it. I don't endorse murder, but I will kill you.